Hello, everybody. Today we are going to start with a new lecture. As you know, this week's lecture is a grammar lecture, and today we are going to start with a new new grammar lesson. Our lesson for this week is the countable and uncountable nouns. When I say countable, it means something that I can count. And when I say uncountable, it means something that I cannot count. And when I say noun, it means names of things, names of places, names of people, names of objects. So, when I say countable and uncountable nouns, it means the nouns that could be countable, يعني could be counted, and the nouns that could not be counted. First of all, let's see the difference in this chart between the countable and uncountable nouns. As you can see here, the countable noun is the noun that, as we said, can be counted. For example, an apple, a school, one picture, two pictures. So I can count the quantity, the amount. These nouns also can take singular or plural verbs. For example, there is a book on the table. Those houses are very big, aren't they? So these nouns can take singular verbs or plural verbs. When I said there is a book, those houses are. So I'm using singular and plural. And added to that, these nouns can go with a, an, the, my in the singular. For example, she bought an umbrella. These also can be used alone with some, any, many, few in the plural. I love some carrots. Now we move to the uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are nouns that cannot be counted. For example, sugar, information, water, understanding. These nouns always take singular verbs. There is some water in the pitcher. We cannot say there are some water, there is. So they always take singular verbs. Do not go with an, a, or two. For example, can you hear music? I cannot say can you hear a music or two music or one music and so on, with numbers. These nouns can be used alone or with some, any, much, little. There is little information about the weather. Can use a or an, one or two with coffee, tea, when we talk about a cup, a glass, or a bottle. So I can say, can I have two teas? I mean two cups of tea. In this case, we can use the numbers. A, an, some, and any. A and an are used for singular countable nouns, but the difference between them is that a is used with the consonant sound and an is used with the vowel sound. So there is a bottle on the table. An with the vowel sound, there is an apple on the table. Some and any are used in the plural countable nouns and uncountable also. For example, there is some cheese in the fridge. There isn't any cheese in the fridge. Is there any cheese in the fridge? So we always use them with plural countable and uncountable nouns. Now we'll start with the exercise. Fill in the gaps with a, and, some, or any, and match the sentences to the pictures. No need to match the sentences. We just need to fill in the blanks. So, there is, and we have here apple, which starts with a vowel letter. So there is an apple. There aren't any oranges. There aren't any eggs, negative form. There is some butter. There isn't any sandwich. There isn't any milk. There is pineapple juice. We can say there is pineapple juice or there is some pineapple juice. There are some bananas. There aren't any cakes. There is some bread. There isn't any rice. There are some tomatoes. There is some jam. There isn't any cheese. These are the answers. Now we move to the quantifiers, something called a quantifier. And quantifiers are used at the beginning of noun phrases. They are used to express the amount or a degree of something. They are also used with persons. With countable nouns, we can say a majority of, a number of, several, many, a large number of, a few, very few, a great number of. With uncountable nouns, we can say much, a bit, a great deal of, a large quantity of, a little, very little. And there are some quantifiers that can be used with countable and uncountable nouns, such as enough, all, more, most, less, least, no, none, any, not any, some, plenty of, and lots. Here we have to fill in the blanks with how much and how many. How much is used for the countable nouns and how many is used for the uncountable nouns. So if you start with number 2, meat is there. How much meat is there? How much butter is there? How many peaches are there? How much pizza is there? How much ham is there? How much honey is there? How much salad is there? How many bottles of milk are there? How many fish are there? How many strawberries are there? How many slices of bread are there? Now we have to continue these sentences logically. If we said there is some water in the desert, a millionaire has a lot of money. There is some nitrogen in H2O. The flag of the USA has many stars, or a lot of stars, or some stars, logically. There are fish in the Atlantic. There are many fish in the Atlantic. Monkeys have, how can we describe their hair? They have chicken at the Popeyes every day. So they have some chicken. There aren't any good movies showing. I don't have any money. I have 20,000, for example. So I don't have a lot of money. There are many hospitals in, I don't know what's the name of this country. Anyways, there are many hospitals because they are countable. Now we move to these quantifiers and their meaning. For example, little. Little means small. It can be used with the uncountable nouns. Few means also small. It can be used with countable nouns. A lot of means a large number of something or a large amount, and it can be used with both. Many means very numerous, and it can be used with countable nouns. Much, very, to, or a lot, and it can be used with uncountable nouns. Any, never, at all. It can be used with both Lots of means many or a lot of. It can be used with both. Some means an unspecified amount or number of something. So some vegetables, some fruits, not unspecified number or amount. And it can be used also with both countable and uncountable nouns. These are some exercises about the quantifiers. So we have to fill in much, many, lots of, a lot of, little, most, a little, a few, and few. It seems we had assignments in English this year. It seems we have had lots of or many. How do we have to read this week? How many books, for example, do we have to read this week? Americans don't like George Bush. We can say a little Americans, or little, or a few. Few Americans don't like George Bush. There aren't very many books in the library. I think he drank wine last night. I think he drank a lot of wine last night. I have had headaches already because of the stress. I have had a lot of headaches. I didn't use any fertilizers last spring. That's why we had I didn't use many fertilizers that's last week. That's why we had so many weeds. It had rained very much this summer. That's why the grass is so brown. People know as much about computers as Jack does. Few people. I'm having trouble passing my driving test. Many trouble or little trouble. We can use little because she didn't say troubles. So I'm having little trouble passing my driving test. Here are the answers, and some of them, as you can see, can take more than one answer. So here I can use lot of, many, and lots. Here I can use how much do we have to read this week. Okay, most and many. Here I can use both. Many books, a lot of, lots of, much. I have had a few. Here a lot of, lots of fertilizers last spring. It has rained very little. People as much about. So here I use, there are many options. A lot of, much, lots of, little. So there are four uses.